The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Well, what's the Meatloaf song? 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Well, Everson Walls is here. Mickey Spagnola is here for Mick Shots in the SWBC podcast studio at the Star. But Bill Jones, and I understand this, when you have more than one master, you have to maybe sometimes go the other direction. And so Bill is away doing an interview for CBS 11. And you're just going to have Everson and Mickey today unless Nate in Frisco stops by.
Nate in Frisco. Hey, so we should take a tally on who's missed the most days.
Right?
Yeah, I think you'd win in as far as the least amount of days, right?
Right.
Yeah. But
At least,
it's your show.
At least for this year.
It's your show, so you should.
Yeah.
You don't get much credit for that.
I haven't had any ailments or any surgeries or oh, by the way, you'll be glad to know that my return to the DPS office to get my driver's license was successful.
Yes, you did it. You did it. No rats today.
And it was
rats
was
today.
really funny because I gave the lady the little sheet that you had to fill out, gave her my driver's license, and the first thing she asked, she goes, "You got your passport?" And I said, "I've got my passport, I got my birth certificate, and I got my Social Security card now."
So which one did they actually need? Either one of the three?
I think either one of the first two.
Oh, first two.
Yeah.
So Social Security card.
Because not everybody, birth certificate or
passport.
Yeah. Because I guess when you get your passport, maybe they're more official on checking your background to make sure you're not an illegal.
Well, I have 3 years.
Okay.
3 years. So
Well, good.
well, I'll be ready.
It also says you can renew it 2 years in advance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you can renew it if it expires too, by the way. You're just taking the chance of getting stopped with an expired license, that's all.
I'm happy. They look good though. I like the real IDs.
Yeah, and it's got the little gold star on there to make sure that you're.
Well, congratulations, man.
Yes,
welcome to this century.
Yes, absolutely. I got it done, and the lady was very pleasant too, by the way.
Now, see there, you were ranting yesterday. Now you need to give those people some love.
I did.
Man.
Okay. I told her. I said,
right.
"Thank you for being so pleasant."
There you go.
Because a lot of times when you go in there, those people hate their jobs.
Yes,
right?
that's true.
It wasn't a sloth?
Yeah, right. That's a good one, Chris. All right, Cowboys Colts. We are almost there. It's Friday. The Cowboys have basically meetings today, no practice. The injury report only changed by one person, and there was, I think, a misconception going on earlier yesterday that Terrence Steele was out with a sickness. I found out he was out with a personal family situation.
So you were Mick the Dick, huh?
That's right. I got to the bottom of it, right? Detective.
That's not what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's short for detective.
Yeah, come on, man. That's
Okay.
I'm just saying. It is. I can't help because his name is Mick and it rhymes, okay? Sorry.
But anyway, he should be good to go for Sunday, although the two guys that were out with illnesses, Diggs and Gallup, were still out. But Mike McCarthy basically said today he felt pretty good that they should be good to go. And I think he felt Barr, he said that yesterday, good to go. And Curse and DeMarcus Lawrence at least were limited all week. So they should be good to go, too. So
they'll be fresh legs.
Yeah, for a health standpoint, they should be in pretty good shape. And they would – and he also said they would make a decision on Washington probably on Saturday, see how practice goes and see just kind of where he's at. But the way he talked about it, it's almost like, well, this guy looks like he's ready to go, even though he hadn't had any off-season or training camp or
ramp-ups
or practice. Yeah, just a couple of days. He would have had 3 practices. So we'll see where that one goes. And then for Tyron Smith, they're going to see where he's at next week. But it sounds like they're, doing different contingency plans on who's playing where, and just make sure that when they have 8 guys up on the offensive line, that the other 3 are very versatile that can do different things.
And that's what I talked about yesterday. The luxury that we have with the depth on this team, that is something that took a lot of planning and a lot of foresight from the coaching staff and the scouting. Because these guys that we have, getting rid of Basham, that lets you know what kind of luxury we have around here. The fact that you were able to let someone like that go, I thought he was a good player.
Yeah.
And I know that he cleared waivers, so no chance of
I haven't seen it, like signing him back to the practice squad.
Yeah.
So now they have an open spot on the 53-man roster. They only have 52.
Okay.
So
up
there's a
for
spot.
Beckham.
There's a spot for Washington.
Or Beckham.
Or Beckham. Although you could basically say we're signing you to the practice squad until you're ready to play.
Yes.
And not carry dead weight on the 53-man roster, because you can practice if you're on the practice squad. So he's in New York today, and then is still scheduled to be in Dallas on Monday. He'll need to take a physical. And
he's not signing with New York.
Right.
He's not going to sign with New York.
Go back there again.
Who wants to go back? I mean, it sounds attractive because of the city itself, but,
He's also visiting Buffalo today, I believe.
I meant, did I say New York? Yeah.
Well, he's going to New York. I think he did New York yesterday.
And Buffalo.
In Buffalo today.
Yeah, I got it backwards.
Now, that
Buffalo
would be very attractive to him.
Yeah.
Really, very, especially, just the way they talk about the Bills, the chance they have of going to the Super Bowl. They give them a better chance than anybody.
They won the night before.
And they won.
They just had a nice showcase last night.
Well, they played an extra game. They're 9-3, so they were 8-3, just like the Cowboys.
But no one likes the Cowboys to win it all.
And that wasn't a spectacular performance, by the way, last night either.
Well, they haven't had spectacular performances in about a month.
Right.
And so that's just the way it is. Since they lost to the Vikings, well, even before that, everything sounds good in the offseason, and you try to build on the next season. But teams are ramping up for Buffalo just like they ramp up for the Cowboys. This is what the Cowboys go through every week.
Right.
Whether we're sorry or whether we're good, it doesn't matter. Then Buffalo's getting a taste of that. And Josh is just not really understanding that sometimes force meets force.
Right.
And you don't always win. He's kind of like Dak. He's so determined, and I'm going to be this. I'm going to will my team to victory. That works a lot of times.
Yeah.
But when it doesn't, you got to know how to pivot a little bit. And he's trying to learn how to pivot. He's doing a pretty good job, though.
Yeah, and you can see and when it works, it always looks great. Like he doesn't give up on a play. Okay, I'm going to run.
Right.
He got hit a couple times last night.
And see, that's not going to last long. You can ask Cam Newton about that.
Right.
Big guys like that, all of a sudden you start slowing down. You wonder why your maneuverability is where it used to be, things of that nature. So he needs to pace himself.
Right.
That's what I tell my guys when we go out to happy hour. Pace yourself. Okay.
You know what? And I think the guy in Baltimore is starting to figure that out too.
Yes, he is. Yes,
I mean, when he starts taking hit after hit after hit, right? I think the Buffalo. But again, it's going to come down to who pays what. I guarantee you, and who's going to give him a long-term deal.
The most attractive deal. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you hate to see that. That's but it's life, right?
Well, I'm sure he'll look at it like this, because it can go hand in hand. Get a good deal with a good team. He doesn't have to be with a bad team. He doesn't have to compromise.
Right.
Being with the Giants, to me, that's compromising.
Right.
If you're going to Buffalo, then I'm thinking, okay, they'll most likely give me a good deal on a damn good team.
Right.
And
that
so
should be good for a period of time.
He
right?
has that. I think
They've
has
got
that,
some stability.
That luxury right now.
The head coach should have stability.
And that, if you look at it like that, Buffalo and Dallas should be number one. Those two should be tops on this list.
Yeah. And then, again, from his standpoint, I don't know if when they say you come in for a physical, do they physically make you run? So I can see where you're at. Because, you can take an MRI of the knee and see, what it's doing. But, okay, now what kind of shape are you
run
in?
some routes.
Yeah.
He'll probably do that indoors, right?
I would think so,
Yeah.
We ain't going to be here Monday peeking, right?
It'd be like, no peeking, though. You got to be paparazzi.
Right.
There would be paparazzi on the sidelines.
Right. We need to find somebody. Oh, and the other thing is the Cowboys Club is closed on Mondays.
Oh, yeah.
So we couldn't sneak up there and look,
No.
right?
So he'll be here Monday.
Although the people at Dr. Pepper Keurig would be able to see, they'll do it indoors.
Yeah.
Obviously. If he agrees to do it.
He
Now,
might already have his mind made up in Buffalo.
or maybe he's saying, no, I'm not working out. And I'd have a problem with that.
Yeah, I think I would too.
Right? Because you kind of got to know. You got to know where he's going.
Well, from his
where
standpoint, he's thinking, I'm a veteran, I'm proven. Get the benefit of the doubt. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. Because
I'd be willing to guess, Mick, that they're going to work him out on grass because he's a big advocate of getting rid of turf.
Well, you are right.
And he got hurt.
So
Yeah.
why would you want to bring him in here then say, oh, guess what? Go get on the turf he doesn't like.
Well,
So I'm just letting you know. I think
what do you think
probably,
they would do
if you're going to
regards
work him out on grass, he's going to do it.
So you think the Cowboys would have him out here in the open, so to speak?
or do it.
Well, I'm assuming
if they were to have him work out.
do it
I'm
first thing
assuming
in the
he's probably going to
morning.
be next door in the Carroll Clinic for a while.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
I mean, they've got to check that out. And
Of course.
somebody made this point. Last year when he went to the Rams, he had. So that was. Correct me if I'm wrong here. That was kind of a mid-season deal, early season. So he had already been practicing before he got there.
Okay.
Yeah, he was released by Cleveland in October, October 8th, and signed
Okay.
with the Rams October 11th.
So he would have gone through training camp.
Correct.
Now this year, nothing, right? Nothing since he got hurt in the Super Bowl. So I think you got to take that into I mean, what would be like your immediate expectation of him? Is he Odell Beckham Jr. 3 years ago? Is he Odell Beckham Jr. the first few games he played with the Rams, or the guy in the playoffs that was pretty darn good? But you also have to take in consideration, don't you, that it's the same ACL in the same knee. So I think there's a lot of things to consider here.
I tell you what you need to consider: playing in a cold weather city with that type of injury,
Or playing indoors.
Yeah.
At least
see what I'm saying?
opportunity to
See what I'm
play
saying?
indoors.
Otherwise,
right?
you're gonna go to Buffalo. You know that turf is hard as hell.
Right.
It's frozen.
And it
all
gets
the
harder.
time.
It gets harder, right?
And especially, as the sun goes down. I think that's really a factor for him. Playing in Buffalo in that weather, there's not the wear and tear on a previously surgered knee.
Right.
That's something that as you get out there running around in that cold weather, every step seems heavier and heavier. It's just the way it is. You have to, your body has to adapt to that.
Right.
And you don't have much time to do that.
And, and the Cowboys haven't minced words. They still want him, I think, but they got to see these other things,
Right.
too. It's like they're saying all the right things, but it's like, okay, now we got to talk health. We got to talk when you're ready to play and money.
And they want to accommodate him in every way that they can.
Right.
And they want to prioritize certain things for us, not just for him.
Right.
So we got to cover our own asses, basically, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then just the fact that they know they've got contracts coming up that they got to deal with.
Yes.
And they're 8-3 without him. So if he was here, would they be 9-2? The offense didn't fail in Green Bay.
No,
the
they did
defense
not.
did,
Yeah.
right? So I think there's a lot of things to consider, and I don't think they would be very cavalier with their salary cap money available, knowing that Diggs, Lamb, these guys are going to need contracts here real soon. Dax goes up. Micah Parsons will be going in his third year. So now all of a sudden, I guess
That's a priority.
But they would have him. Yeah, but they
No,
would.
I'm just saying,
they would have
when
the
that
rights
time
to
comes,
him for 2 years. Yeah,
when that time comes, that's the priority right there.
I mean, that's going to be just below a quarterback deal,
That
right?
would be just like Dak's deal.
Yeah.
It's a priority.
Yeah.
We are not letting them get away.
And here's something interesting, Mick. If you look at the Cowboys' schedule moving forward, okay, so if you bring Beckham in, he's not going to play against Houston. Would you agree with that, Mick?
I agree with you.
Okay, so when's the first game he's going to play?
It's a short week against Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
You say he play against Jacksonville, right?
Yeah.
That would be the
That would be,
soonest.
the soonest, right? Which is they play on grass. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Right.
so if you want to talk about the grass turf thing, okay, so he'd only have one more opportunity. As if the standings stay right now, there's only 2 more opportunities he'd play on turf the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. If it stands right now, right? So
Right.
you got Philadelphia is a home game for us. Okay, so he'll play on turf there. Okay, Tennessee is grass.
Yep.
Washington is grass. Okay, if we make the playoffs,
but
Washington's grass. Oh, it's grass. Trust me.
It's grass.
Oh,
It is
yeah,
100% grass.
Yeah.
At Washington is grass.
Always.
Okay.
Even at RFK.
Yes. So then if we're the 4th seed, we'd have to go play against Tampa. Right. As of right now, it's grass. Okay. If you win that game, you'll probably have to play against Philadelphia.
Back on
Grass
track.
again.
Is it grass?
Yeah, they have grass.
They have grass?
They have grass in Philadelphia.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
And then the last game would be between Minnesota. That could be a turf game, or San Francisco out there. I believe San Francisco is grass as well. And then the Super Bowl, if you want to get that far, is in Arizona, which we all know is grass.
So grass will have it.
There you go.
I mean, I'm just saying.
You think he's looked at it like that, Chris?
I don't think they look at it like that,
No, I
but
think
he's been a
he's
big advocate of get rid of turf. Correct?
Well, I tell you what, if the Cowboys with that information,
That's a good sell.
That's the sell.
It's a sell.
I don't know if that's something that would be that he's already aware of, but it's definitely a sell if you bring that up in the negotiations.
But the bottom line is guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money, obviously.
Right.
It's all about the cash.
Doesn't matter what turf.
Doesn't
it
matter
is,
what turf
'cause
you're on,
as long as
but-
I'm guaranteed my money, I'll get hurt again, right?
But it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, that is.
Well, I mean, that would be a factor. It's
a lot of grass.
I think that'd be a factor. I really do. I think that would be a factor. If you were to bring that up to him, if he didn't already know it, of course you want the money, but as you scale it down, okay, that's a selling point. That's a good job, Chris. That is a selling point.
Well, the other selling point is if he has any doubt if he's where he's going to sign, he better not go in that office with Jerry.
He will sell it.
Because
Jerry sell it.
he will convince him that this is the place to go, right? I've always said
I
that.
think- I
if
think
you were doing a
players-
business deal with Jerry, don't get in the office because he'll talk you into something.
I think they enjoy being talked into by Jerry.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
I think that's a process that I think a lot of them might look forward to. You know, hey, I'm sitting up here and Jerry's trying to impress me.
Right.
So that would be pretty cool.
All right. We will continue with Mick Shots here. We're going to hit our break and then get into these Colts a little bit more on Mick Shots.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
What do you call a group of grown men and women with their faces painted silver and blue who get together every week to share a 3-hour-long ritual of jumping, singing, and toasting Miller Lite in 10-gallon hats while yelling, "How about them Cowboys?" You call it Miller Time in Dallas. Here's to the Cowboys. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys is K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing. From corporate homes to your home, have your roof checked by choice, not by chance. Call now, 214-225-4860, kpostcompany.com. As we continue here on this Friday on Mick Shots, Everson Walls, Mickey Spagnuolo with you. Bill, by the way, sent in his picks to click and pick, too. So don't let me forget. It's on my text messages here when we get to our next segment and start breaking this deal down.
It's a very lame pick to click.
I think he had 2.
Well, yeah, he's going
He
with...
did.
Yeah.
Has he got an either or? Or do we get to decide? This is who you get.
We're going to cancel it all out if he keeps doing that. We don't play that here. No, don't be straddling the fence now.
And by the way, since I brought this up when the show was over yesterday, and it's 2-3 days late, but since the soccer's on TV, remember my pick to click was Pulisic, and he scored the winning goal for the U.S.
That was?
Right? Yes, absolutely.
And he got
and then he got
he got headbutted.
I was going to say somehow posterized in the wrong spot. Yeah. By the way.
No, he was going for it though. No, that guy's relentless from what I could see.
Yeah, and he came up with the big goal and got their 1 goal. Right, and can't score 2.
That's cool.
Oh, they tried and it was disallowed on offsides. So anyway, the Colts. A bunch of their guys that were limited and didn't practice got upgraded to full. So the wide receiver, Kiki Kuti, didn't practice with an illness on Wednesday, but he was full on Thursday. Center Ryan Kelly, knee, ankle, limited on Wednesday, full on Thursday. And they did put one more guy.
Is that the starting center? Because otherwise,
yes, it is.
That's that's key.
Because he's one of their better offensive linemen.
Wow.
And
that's a big injury there.
Let me see who else they upgraded. No, that guy was full. Did not practice. Brandon Smith was out with a illness, so we'll see where that one goes. That's their starting right tackle.
Wow.
So they've had problems on that offensive line other than Quentin Nelson, although Kelly's pretty good, but they just haven't done a very good job of protecting Matt Ryan, and so that kind of bodes well for that Cowboy pass rush.
Was the center playing last week?
That part I don't remember.
Because
he got hurt last week in the game.
Was he the one that
he went out in the game last week?
All right.
So
and see when you have these kind of injuries, man, this bodes very well for our plan.
I think the biggest injury from them is Kenny Moore, the second.
The cornerback?
The cornerback, DNP, with an ankle injury.
An ankle. And those things don't clear up in 2 days, right?
That secondary is pretty strong, isn't it? They got some veterans on there.
They got McCourty, is it right? And Moore. And Moore is a Pro Bowler, so.
And and their other corner, Isaiah Rodgers, missed. Where's it at?
It was limited.
They moved him to limited.
Yeah,
with a knee. Yeah, and then the guy we talked about yesterday, the tight end, Jelani Woods, He hasn't practiced all week with a shoulder quad. And who might be walking in here?
Nate in Frisco. What's up?
He should just come in with a ho, ho, ho or something, right? So, yeah, they've got some injury problems. What did he say?
Yeah, you don't want to know. I don't want to repeat that. Coming in with ho, ho, ho and Harry Hines. It was a Harry Hines.
Very cute.
Ho, ho, ho.
There you go, Brad.
Ho.
I told him not to repeat it. You did it anyway.
Get your microphone.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
Man, they got some ham hocks down there. I'm gonna check.
No way.
Man,
Seriously.
that was crazy.
Ooh, the ham to the hocker. Man.
You remember when the guy used to bring food to the Star?
Yes.
And he'd bring in the neck bones and ham hocks?
Ooh. How are you gentlemen doing today?
We are just fine.
So much better since I had my lunch already.
Yeah, I just wanted to come in and eat while y'all talk. Is that okay?
No, that's
no. You got to talk.
Just don't make too much noise. Don't smack. Don't smack in the microphone.
Hogs don't smack.
You don't get to.
Sloth.
You don't get to eat unless you talk for your food.
Yeah,
okay?
The hogs don't eat. They slop. So you'll be hearing different sounds.
I hope you got something else other than cookies to eat.
No, just the ham hock and the 2 cookies. That's for Bearclaw.
Oh, that's what they all say. Yeah, I'm going to get the cookies for somebody else.
Yeah.
Right?
How y'all doing? What are y'all talking about?
Well, we were talking about the Colts and some of their injuries that are concerns.
Their starting center
is out now?
Well, he is.
Ryan Kelly?
He's been limited, and then they moved him to full. So but they're having problems at the cornerback position.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. But I'm going to tell you, this is what scares me about these offensive linemen. And I'm not comparing, but I'm telling you, if we had their offensive line I'm talking about their 2 centers, their center and 2 guards, this thing would be ugly.
Really?
They offensive line in the middle is just that good. I'm telling you. They
you didn't tell me this, Spags.
Well,
you tell me Quentin Nelson ain't no all pro.
Well, Zach Martin is.
But no.
That's
I'm talking about
for one.
No. Okay, Ryan Kelly.
All right.
Okay, and Freeze. He ain't a bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now.
But they're tackles.
Now that I didn't mention they tackles. You mentioned they tackles. This is what bothers me is when you look at it objectively, pound for pound in the middle, they're equal or better than us. But what hurts them is their quarterback has 10 interceptions. Their quarterback holds the ball. This offensive line is not bad. The best thing that our Cowboys can do is get up on them and make them one-dimensional.
That's what I was thinking.
Because if I'm Jeff Saturday, if I'm going to protect my defense, because that's the only chance they got is a defense, is I got to run the ball. Even to my own detriment, I have to run the ball. Like the Bears did. The Bears, our quarterback is just not good enough. He's got to run the ball.
He's not there yet doing what we need to do.
Yeah, right. He's growing.
Yes.
But the other guy, Ryan, is on the back end. This kid was great. Ryan was great.
He was damn good.
He was
consistent for years.
For years. And now I hate to see that in a great quarterback.
Well, they don't give him anything to throw to. Number 11 is his best wide receiver. I can't recall if their tight end's any good.
The other 2 guys I don't recognize.
And I'm
so
sure
you got Pittman?
Everyone has potential, Nate, but just on paper, this is a game where, and I was thinking about this the other night. It's so funny you said that. This is a game to where if I'm playing, I'm telling Mike Downs, don't worry about me.
Right.
We need you up there.
Right.
And I would be
on him.
And I'm talking about I'd be on the line on this guy.
Right.
I'd be on the line on this guy. My change up, because you have a game plan as a team.
Right.
But to fit within that game plan, you have to have your own individual game plan, how you're going to approach your opponent.
And to me, I agree 100%.
I would be on both of those wide receivers. You're going to have to show me that you can beat Diggs. One of y'all over there can beat Diggs. One of y'all going to make the difference on Diggs. You show me that.
Paris Campbell. They got some young, and that's what I've been trying to tell everybody that'll listen. They have talent. Excuse me.
They just haven't played to their talent.
Is that because this is what I believe. I know this with all my heart. You cannot give a team that's ready to win, which they was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. They were ready to win. Yeah. And you give them quarterback that cannot complete. The quarterbacks got worse. They should have tried to keep Phillips.
They had the chance last year, but once again, you talk about the quarterback.
I'm telling you,
Wentz let them down, and the last 2 games they couldn't win the last 2 games. And before that, they were on a roll with momentum going into the end of the season. Say, all we need to do is win these next 2 games, and all of a sudden, I think Taylor went down. That didn't help at all. He wasn't running well at the end.
Wow.
And they lost their last 2 games. So you talk about being ready to win. Last year they were ready to win.
I used to laugh at the great Galloway, man. I used to laugh at Randy. That's all Randy talked about 20 years ago. They don't have a quarterback. Now, I tell any coach that's wanting to get hired, coming out of college, or that's already established in the pros, if you walk up in here with a less than subpar, because if you got any mind, you can build a team. But if you got a subpar team and no quarterback, stay where you at.
You know what Larry Lacewell
because you won't be there long. Your new place, you won't be there long.
Larry Lacewell used to tell me, he goes, if I don't have the guys on defense, I can kind of scheme it, right?
Yes, you can.
I could junk it up and I'll cause problems. But I can't fake offense. I cannot fake the quarterback position.
You can't fake talent.
Right.
No.
Yeah. So here's the bottom line here. The Cowboys lead the league with 45 sacks, defense. Indianapolis quarterbacks have suffered 43 sacks.
Yes, sir. 32 just alone with Ryan.
And then Ellinger with 11.
So let you know they're going to try to pass as little as possible.
Or they're going to do what the Giants did, and that was a pretty good plan. They just rolled them out, right? They kept them out of the middle, rolled them out, throw short, and then every once in a while heave it deep.
He's a mummy, but he's not a mummy. But I don't think I'd be moving Ryan around too much.
And he's not the one, like Daniel Jones can move, right? I don't know if Ryan gets out of the pocket.
He's not a mummy, once again, but
Parsons
he's
will run
he'll
not
run
just
down. Parsons. It's not a good. If he starts scrambling a lot, then the game is in our hands.
All right, we're going to scramble into a break here.
Nice segue.
How about that? No, you got to. Them ham hocks got to wait until we make our picks and pick the.
They ain't them ham hocks. They just ham hocks.
Next.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey.
Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
The season is finally here. For months, we've been gearing up to win. Now it's time for the team that performs on any field, United Ag and Turf.
With John Deere zero turns for mowing, compact tractors for loading, mini excavators for digging, Gator utility vehicles for hauling, implements for grading, hay tools for baling. United Ag and Turf, for winning. The official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com for more.
Back to Mick Shots.
Give the gift of the Cowboys this holiday season with a Dallas Cowboys United membership. Give your superfan an annual fan club membership and fan pack for as little as $20. 'Tis the season. Learn more at DallasCowboys.com/United as we head down the stretch here on Mick Shots. Everson Walls, Mickey Spagnola, and Nathan Frisco actually walked into the building with his ham hocks.
There you go.
Were they good?
Oh, they still good. I'm going to take them home and warm them up and make sure they're extra good.
All right, so we kind of got into this, kind of a key to the game, and Nate's all about the Cowboys dealing with Colts' offensive line.
The middle of it, yes.
The middle of it.
Yes.
So
yes.
The Cowboys' defensive tackles need to be on their game.
Oh, yeah, because these dudes don't mind. They don't mind you mucking it up. They can physically, they can either double team you out of there with the guard in the center, or they can singly manhandle you out of there. So, we have to be real cognizant of what we're doing on first and second down, because now we all know if they get in pass rush mode, it's over.
Right.
Like Jimmy say, sometimes you just got to do what's best for the team.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take one for the team. And if I'm them, I'm running that ball 65 times. Right. I'm not. I'm going to play as best defense as I can, keep it as close as I can, and hope that Matt Ryan have a play or two at the end of the game.
So this will be a good indication of where this Cowboy defense is, because the Colts have the guy that won the rushing title last year, right?
Yeah, he's been hurt, though, hasn't he?
I think he's been hurt a little bit.
Yeah. He's getting healthy.
Because he only gained 700 and change, right? 4 touchdowns. Last year he had 1,800 yards.
Man.
Yeah.
So
that's where your boys are working inside.
But see, that
the Cowboys.
What changed from last year on the offensive line, Mick? What changed? Did they get new players?
They're starting a rookie at tackle.
That's one position, right?
Right, and I think I don't remember about the other guy, Brandon Smith.
Yeah,
I think he was there last year.
But them guys that's in that middle.
Yeah,
I remember 2-3 years ago now, 4 years ago, that it was our guy Zach and Quentin Nelson. That's the best guards in the league.
That's right.
And I watched this kid. I'm like, he was mauling folks. and you just think he fell off like that? No, he hasn't. But the culture has fell off. The physicalness has fell off. And that's the first thing to go with age and with inexperience is you're not playing fast, you're not playing hard, you're not physical, and that's the first thing to go. Because, you look at the defense, they stacked on defense. They got good enough players to win.
They're ranked 6th. Yeah, they've done that. So the Cowboys in the last 2 games have held the opponent, Minnesota, to 73 yards rushing and the Giants to 90 yards rushing. And both of them had quality running backs, right?
Right.
So now we see, can they do this again? 3 games in a row, because it's been a while since they've gone back-to-back holding the opponent to less than 100 yards. I think I went back, and it was the first 3 games last year.
I think, when you look at those stats, a bit misleading because the yards per rush was still kind of generous and a little bit too much for me, to where if the game would have flowed a different way,
right,
then those yards would have moved chains for us.
Well, actually, both games, 4.3 a carry. That's kind of, that's kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah. I tell people it used to be 3.9, 4.0 that you never want to give up, but now in the new NFL that's back to running, 4.3 ain't bad. Because you just need to get some losses down along the way.
The previous game, it was 5.3, 5.6, 4.7, and 3.5, but that was Philadelphia, and they ran for 136.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like Buddy Ryan said, I'm going to hand it to you 136 times. We get a
right.
yard of rush, we good.
So you're right. So the average per carry has to come down. So if that's Nate's key, Everson, give me one.
Mine is always, of course, the rush. But my key is for our defense to control the pace of the game. In other words, don't let those running plays, don't let that 4-point whatever yards a carry, don't let those be the quality yards.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you put that on the third down, then you're moving chains.
Right.
So you don't want the chains to be moving the way we lost control in Green Bay during the second half, the way we've given up the yards against all the other teams. The reason we were able to keep those guys to the cumulative yards, not the yards per carry, was because we forced them to change the game plan. They couldn't continue to run it.
Right.
They weren't going back-to-back 4-yard carries. You see, they would get the 4 yards, and our defense is what I like about our defense. They're not on their heels the entire game like last year. They react and respond to those running plays. They react quickly. In other words, during the drive, we're not going to be dumbfounded for 3 downs. We figure it out much quicker. All of a sudden, Quinn knows how to dial up just the right defense to where D-Law just stuffed that run that he anticipated. And then in the passing play, we got the right coverage to where they don't catch the receiver the way they want to catch him. So we have been able to stifle their momentum in these last 2 games, and we weren't able to do that in those previous games. So that defense has to control their drives.
All right, I'm going to let you look up Bill's picks. I was trying to.
I got it right here.
I think I've got
it right here.
There
yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
I got them. So Bill has the Cowboys. I know your score. The Cowboys win, right?
Same here.
Bill picked 24-13 Cowboys, and we're going to have to call him out on this.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his pick to click is either former Colt Malik Hooker and
exactly.
Indy
he
native.
didn't give us a choice.
Indy native Zach Martin. So he picked 2.
I am going to. So he picked Malik Hooker.
Yeah.
I mean, former Colt.
Yeah, we're giving him Malik Hooker.
We're going to give him Malik Hooker.
Because Zach Martin, you can pick him every week.
Yeah, we know Zach is like Parsons. Yeah, we know he's going to be all right every week. So here's what I got. I think we're going to mature this game, at least this game. We're going to handle these guys the way they should be handled. Defense is going to play well. And because the defense is going to play well, they're going to have good field position all day long, I think, the Cowboys. But that also helps my boy Turpin.
Uh-oh.
I think Turpin is going to.
It's time?
I think Turpin is going to have, as long as they block the guys on the end, they haven't been double teaming the gunners. And we had opportunities last week to where he could have returned it if you block the guys on the outside.
And they didn't do a good job of the single guy holding up the
They
gunner.
did not at all. He wasn't, and so he was always threatened when the ball was coming down. He's really smart because he knows when to take a chance and when not to. I want him to get back his confidence.
I
really
just don't want him to get antsy.
Well, and that's what I mean. I want him to get back his confidence because he is antsy. He's trying to do some things now. You can just see he's itching to get it done.
Because he said yesterday in the locker room on the kickoffs, he goes, I wish they'd let me take it out from 5-6 yards deep.
Now just stop that. Stop that. We don't need that right now. We don't need heroes right now. We just need ball players. So yeah, that's my guy. I got 30-14 Cowboys, 30-14, and I have Turpin. Turpin's he's gonna break one. I don't mean for a touchdown, but he's gonna make a difference in the game.
All right. So my key is getting off to a faster start offensively. They've gotten off to slow starts, trailing at halftime. They need to set the tone immediately and force the Colts to have to throw the ball to catch up. Mm-hmm. And that'll unleash the pass rush. My pick, we're pretty close. I had 30-16. I just think they're better. unless they go down there and
I just can't see us just
go out there
tanking this game. I cannot see that.
And I think they're past that. So my pick to click.
But your score again? What was it?
30-16.
30-6.
So
okay.
Right by you. And since I'm going to write about him and the pass rush, I am going to take Dorrance Armstrong.
That's the dude. That's
for
the dude,
another
man.
big game.
That's the
from
dude.
him. The guy that was basically forgotten in the offseason. Now they re-signed him, but everybody else kind of just, it's Dorrance Armstrong, right? And I think he's proved everybody wrong with
what you think about him, Nate?
eight sacks, I
like
believe
him
it is.
coming out. I bragged on him a lot coming out because of
even if he went to Kansas.
The thing is, he was a pass rush guy. He was a penetrator. He got getting upfield.
Yeah.
Brought in a new coaching staff, made him a two-gap.
Oh, okay.
Coach Marinelli and them said, we got a pass rusher here. We got a guy that can get upfield. Ain't let him
listen. Nobody listen.
Yesterday he said his goal going into the season was to get back to 5 sacks. I think he had 5 or 6 last year. And then he goes, then it became 8. And it's like, so now that you got 8 double digits? And he goes, that's
crazy, man.
He said that's everybody's.
That boy came on.
Every pass rusher's goal is to get double-digit sacks. And I think he's got an opportunity because who they're concentrating on, right?
Right.
They don't want Parsons doing that, and they certainly don't want DeMarcus Lawrence doing that. And
with a slow quarterback like this, if you don't let him get the ball out quickly, you make him pull it down. It's feasting time.
So to prevent the quickly, do you play man right up on the line of scrimmage?
I think so. That's what I think. Now, you got to play within your abilities. Brown just, if I'm looking at Diggs, then I'm looking at him, just shutting this guy down. He has to shut this guy down. And Brown, there are times when he can make some plays. And he's always got to have his confidence first. A 5-year man, I wish he was more aggressive from the beginning of the game. He always seems surprised when the guy gets off the line on him.
And they test him early, don't they?
And they do. And they're going to do this to you. They're going to do this to you. Just man up and let's go. It's coming. Forget the short routes. Okay, that's okay. They're going to get those. You need to be back here, man. Worst case scenario right now. And, it didn't take me long to learn that. I got beat enough times. It didn't take me long to learn that. Hey, I need to be back here and work my way up. Because that's the way we're going to be the most effective.
See, we're almost out of time.
No, we are out of
time. When he got beat on the long one, I guess it was the last game.
Yeah.
He was up.
Gentlemen, welcome to overtime.
And he backed off. And gave cushion. And then the guy still
ran by him.
Kind of ran. Well, they were kind of step for step, but he didn't get to the ball.
And he's got to make space for himself. I don't care how big you. Mark Collins, I played with him with the Giants. He's a thick guy, and so he was like Washington.
Yeah.
He's about those dimensions. And he could make space for himself. Brown has to be bigger, make space for himself as the ball is arriving. Okay, he's good here, but when the ball's in the air, he loses sight of it and he loses his coordination. So he has to be quick-footed. He go from here to here real fast.
Right.
The guy runs a 4.4.
Yep, he's probably the fastest guy in the team.
That's what I'm saying.
Although Micah Parsons would dispute it.
So you got to use your height, though. You have to use your hops if you have to.
See, and he's got the height to do it. The one guy that taught me about short corners was Ron Francis.
Mm-hmm.
He could cover, but he never could make a play on the ball.
On the ball.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Well, we've made a pretty good play on this Colts-Cowboys game. We'll see how it turns out. We'll be back with you on Monday because what time is it? Time to go get some ham hocks. Thanks, Nate, for joining us.
You're welcome, man.
All right, Everson, Bill, thanks for your picks, and we will talk at you again
next time you're in on the show, you don't get a pick to click.
Go Cowboys.
See ya.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!